Friends, this is the last but one class, not class talk, in this series on thoughts and aphorisms. Tomorrow will be the concluding talk. So I am hard put to choose which ones I should take up. Well, today I have taken up 3 aphorisms which are important from the point of view of a lot of confusions we have regarding a certain phenomenon called the miracles. You understand, many people perform miracles, not magic, miracles. They are not conjuring, they are not some subtle play of trick, but true miracles, forming something out of nothing, etc., etc. Now, how are such actions related to spirituality? This is a very living question. So first I read the aphorisms and then I will try to shed some light on them. 84, 85, 86. The supernatural is that the nature of which we have not attained or do not yet know, or the means of which we have not yet conquered. The common taste for miracles is the sign that man's ascent is not yet finished. Second one, it is rationality and prudence to distrust the supernatural, but to believe in it is also a sort of wisdom. Third one, this is very interesting and intriguing. Great saints have performed miracles. Greater saints have railed at them. They have criticized them. The greatest have both railed at them and performed them. Now, to come to some explanation, what is a miracle? Suppose today Jahangir or Shahjahan suddenly comes back here and he sees we press our finger on a switch and suddenly the hall is lighted. My God, great miracle, Shahjahan will feel. We press another switch, the fan starts moving. What a miracle. Now, for him, the great emperor, it will still be a miracle because he does not know what is the law operating behind such phenomena. We are not surprised. We are born and brought up amid such miracles. They are natural things for us, and little bit of knowledge in science will tell us how the electric light works or how the electric fan works. Now, just as these are what appear to be miracle for one who does not know the law behind it, is not really a miracle for us, those who have got some little knowledge about these things. We know the secret of nature which scientists have found out, by utilizing which secrets these things are being possible. Similarly, there are certain other lines of secret in nature which cannot be approached through laboratory equipment, through scientific equipment, through binocular, telescope or any such thing, but which can be entered into by the equipment of our consciousness and concentration. Once, somewhere in the United States, a scientist of NASA, you know, the premier science department of the government of the United States of America. So, now National Aeronautics Research something, NASA. And so he was asking me, at that time, the neem leaf was very much in news because some American company wanted to copyright the qualities of neem. And India contested. India said, we have neem being used as for medicinal purposes. We know these qualities for hundreds or maybe thousands of years. How can you copyright them? Of course, India won. And the question the NASA scientist was putting is like this. How could the Indian physician find out the qualities of this neem and another leaf which is helping to memory? What is it? Brahmi, that's right. So Brahmi, my memory sometimes deceives me. Brahmi and neem. So the question was, the qualities of these leaves, which the most sophisticated instruments and equipment in the most modern laboratories have been able to find out. How could an ancient physician could find them out? Now my answer to him was, through the laboratory of consciousness. They used to get completely identified with these plants, and the plants would themselves reveal to these seers their secrets, the powers they have. If you read if you read the prayers and meditations of the Mother, in one of the passages you will see how the spring plants, spring flowers, they come and reveal to the Mother their inner qualities. So, through a different discipline, a different kind of investigation, we can know a different set of secrets of nature, and when one masters these secrets, one can perform some miracles. These miracles have hardly anything to do with spirituality. You see, once a young lady goes to a great guru and asks him, have you seen God? And the guru says, yes. So she immediately demands, show him to me. The guru says nothing. If you have seen him, why don't you arrange for me to see him? Then the guru quietly says, my child, for you to be able to see him, it is not only your wish, he should also like to see you. And she was silenced. Then she asked, can you perform a miracle? Then the guru asked, for what? No, I will believe in something supernatural, something like divine. Then the guru says, no, if I perform a miracle, you will believe in the miracle only, not in the divine. How? Then the guru says, suppose here lies this little stone. I throw it up, and it does not fall down, it remains suspended in the air. Will it be a miracle? Oh yes, sufficient miracle. Well, my child, look at the mighty sun suspended in the air, in the atmosphere for billions, trillions of years, not falling down. You have never marveled at it? This little earth of ours, it remains suspended in nothingness. So if these real miracles, profound miracles, have never made you wonder about the power behind them, how can my stone throwing, it will give you some awe, some wonder, you will respect me, you will think I can do some other helpful miracles for you, etc., etc. But it will not bring your faith in the divine, because divine is manifesting all around you, and if that has not helped you to cultivate any faith, how can these tiny miracles help you? Have you ever wondered? The same earth, sand, nothing surprising about it. Out of it can grow 1,000 types of plants and flowers and fruits. The same earth which can grow tulsi leaf can also grow a lotus. Out of mud, a lotus can bloom, can grow rose, can grow lily. And the fragrance, nobody has sprinkled any kind of fragrance on them. Where can they get them? And so many different kinds of fragrances. True miracles are these. All is wonderful to the eye that can see. So, miracles do not really help us to develop our consciousness. Because always miracles are around us. We have shut our eyes to us because our consciousness is very limited. We exercise our consciousness between or within a very small range. Our daily needs, our little desires fulfillment, our ambitions, our family status, social status, some moral or some kind of ethical service to society, something like that, nothing more than that. We don't wonder at things around us. Otherwise, every moment will be a thrilling moment of wonder if we can keep our eyes really open. Now, Sri Aurobindo says that our taste for miracle, that is, that we like miracles, it shows that our ascent, our upward journey to truth is incomplete. Had we reached somewhere at a very higher, lofty, elevated level, our real eyes will open up and I will see everything miracle. You are capable of seeing me, seeing Mother and Sri Aurobindo, seeing the flowers, the plants and trees through eyes. What are these eyes? Physical objects. How can the eyes have such power, such miraculous wonder that something can be seen through this? Is it not a miracle? Miracles are always there. And they are sometimes dangerous because most of the people who really perform miracles, they have under their control certain vital beings. What are these vital beings? You see, between our the physical reality which we see, human beings, animals, birds, trees, mountains, rivers, between this physical existence and the supreme reality, Brahma, there are hundreds and hundreds of possibilities, levels, hundreds of types of beings, not physical, but they do exist. Some formula can be controlled, can be mastered, by which you can keep under your command a few of the beings which belong to the vital world. There are lower vital worlds, higher vital worlds. Now, probably many of you might have read in the history of Sri Aurobindo Ashram. There is no regular history written, but there are some reminiscences. In the early days of the ashram, in a house where some inmates were living, suddenly stones started falling. They were not coming from outside. Doors closed, windows closed, but suddenly storms will rain. It will hit the inmates. It will break the pot. First they tried to find out any mischief being done by anybody. No, there was no human being doing any such thing all around. Then they informed the mother. Mother consented for a moment, and a little imp, a little ghoulish spirit came and appeared before her. Somebody had employed this being to do this mischief because he had some grievance against the ashram. And the mother told this being, "Why don't you do something useful? Why throwing stones?" And the being said, "This is the only thing I can do. Throwing stones is the only thing it can do." You can ask why. There is no logic for these creatures. They don't belong to our mental world. They don't belong to our irrational world. You cannot question their activities. They have got a different dimension of existence. They are governed by some different kind of realities and different kind of laws. I have with me a letter of Swami Vivekananda written to the Raja, ruler of Khetri. Khetri is a state. In India it was there. It is no longer a separate state, needless to say. Now he was a great friend of Vivekananda. In one of his letters, Vivekananda writes, very surprising. Yesterday I went to a person in South India, near Madras, who was famous for telling you or writing down in a piece of paper whatever question is there in your mind. And Vivekananda went to meet him with 3 questions. How was his mother? And who was his guru? And third question was, she had learnt a mantra, a hymn in Tibetan language. What was that hymn? Now the man answered all the 3 questions, including the Tibetan mantra. Again Vivekananda asked, what is the name of my guru? Then he asks, which name? His family name or his name after he took sannyas? Vivekananda says the name by which he was known, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. And he answers. Vivekananda is surprised. After that, this man pleads Vivekananda, I am having fevers of some days. Please bless me that I am cured of my fever. Vivekananda asks him, you are performing such miracles which I can dream of. And you want my blessings for being cured of your fever? He says, I know you are a yogi. What I have is a few siddhis. They are nothing before you. The same experience is recorded by Paul Brunton. You know about an Englishman, Paul Brunton, the man who, let the world know about Ramana Maharshi, a great mystic, a genuine Mahayogi of our time. So, whom Sri Aurobindo also held in great affection. Now, this Ramana Maharshi, before he came to Ramana Maharshi, he met this kind of occultist near Madras again. South India had many such occultists in those days. The same kind of miracles he performed. But at the same time he said, I have just kept a few beings under my control, and they whisper to me. These beings have a little knowledge about certain things, that's all, nothing more than that. And we are dazed by these miracles. We are impressed by these miracles. This is a sign of our imperfection, our weakness. It is better to avoid these miracles because the people who perform them, they have vital beings along with them. They can sometimes be attracted towards you, towards me, towards anybody who is curious about them. And it is not necessarily very good for everybody. Now, Sri Aurobindo says a very interesting thing. Third aphorism. Great saints perform miracles. Greater saints rail at them. They laugh at them. They discourage them. They say this is unworthy. But greatest saints, they discard them. At the same time, they also perform them. You can ask, how can they do that? If it is bad, they should not perform. That is something you have to realize. By greatest saints, Sri Aurobindo means those who are liberated from any kind of rule, any kind of law. They are not bound by any principle. They are free from papa and punya. Karma does not touch them. And such greatest saints are not to be found ordinarily. One Jesus Christ was there. He performed miracles. A blind man, he recovered for him his eyesight. A leper, he gave him back his original flesh. A dead man, he revived him. But the same Jesus Christ in Sermon on the Mount, a very famous chapter in New Testament, Sermon on the Mount, very specifically he says, when the last day of judgment comes, many will claim, we have performed miracles in your name, that is to glorify you, to spread your name. I will tell them, I know not thee. I don't recognize you. That is to say, he would not like his disciples to perform miracles. Buddha very clearly directed his disciples before he passed away. Never perform miracles in my name or to spread my message. But, there is a very interesting legend in the Buddhist lore. It is not in Buddha Jataka. It is the surrounding lore, Buddha's lifetime. Now, Buddha had many great disciples. Sariputta, Moggallana, Ananda. Ananda was his own cousin, Buddha's own cousin, and his most faithful servant. You see, wherever he went, he would accompany him. Personal care he would take. What a devoted brother he was. Slightly younger than Buddha, almost of the same age. And after Buddha's passing away, the legend says, Ananda goes out to spread his message. He comes to an unknown country, and nobody is willing to listen to his message or his speech or his lectures. However, a merchant has given him shelter in his outhouse. He sees the merchant and his wife are very gloomy. He asks them, what has happened? And they say, our only son is beset with some kind of a disease, some fever. For last 3 months, I have made all the physicians see him, treat him, no result. That very night, when Ananda is asleep, he suddenly hears some sound. Outside his window, a mysterious face can be seen. So Ananda opens the window and he can feel this is not a human being, but it is a human face. And the being welcomes Ananda. Welcome, Ananda. You want to preach Buddha's message, isn't it? That is a very simple thing you can do. This merchant's son has been possessed by me. I am doing the, work in him for which his disease cannot be cured by anybody. But tomorrow you go and sprinkle some water on him and utter the name of Buddha. I will leave him and he will be cured. And day after tomorrow you will be famous. You performed a great miracle and people will rush to you and you lecture to them on Buddhist philosophy. Ananda was in a fix. Buddha had forbidden him to do miracles. Then he argues with himself, I am not doing it. It is the spirit which is doing it. What is wrong? After all, if people come to know the name of the Buddha. So next day he goes to the merchant and says, I can try my hand in curing this boy. Welcome. Everybody has failed. You try. All the family members are around the boy. He brings some water. Buddhang saranam gacchami, he says 3 times, and sprinkles the water on the boy. And the boy seems to look with surprise at everybody. And for what he did not do for 3 months, he himself gets up. And within the next couple of days, he has completely become his normal self. Now, Ananda's fame has spread. The merchant arranges for his discourses. 50 people, 100 people, 200 people come to him. They touch his feet. He is very much flattered. He is very much honored. And he goes on speaking about Buddha. Whether anybody understands or not, he does not know. But he is satisfied. Something I am doing. 15 days have passed. One night, again the same mysterious face is seen outside the window. Ananda gets up and asks him, "What is the matter?" "Oh, Ananda, tomorrow you are going to become very famous." "How?" "The minister's daughter has been possessed by me." Prime Minister's daughter. "And Prime Minister has heard about your miracle. So tomorrow he will send his chariot, invite you to his castle. You go and cure her, and you will see what happens thereafter." Indeed, the next morning, the Prime Minister's chariot with 2 or 3 of ministers of state or deputy ministers, they come and garland him, and with many words of honor, "Please come to our minister's house because his daughter has become possessed by something. She's biting his mother, his father, whoever comes near him, and speaking words which nobody can understand. And she has become rickety, absolutely pale, lifeless." Ananda goes, "Buddhang saranam vachami." He again sprinkles water on the girl, and the girl is cured of her madness. The king comes to hear about it. "Don't stay anywhere. Come and stay in my royal guest house." The best apartment is allotted to him. 15 servants are employed to serve him. And the king hears from him Buddha's Gospels and all the courtiers, and the king has made a rule. This village will come to him today. Second village day after tomorrow. Third village, all are compelled to come. Compulsory. You must hear Buddha's message from Ananda. People are bound to come. Ananda feels that he is spreading Buddha's message. A month has passed. One night, suddenly the Prime Minister comes. There is a stroke. The king has suffered from a stroke, a cerebral hemorrhage or something like that. We have not called the physician because since you are there, why the physician? Not necessary for physician to do anything. You come. Now he is surprised because the spirit has not told him anything about it. So it may be real disease, not possession, not a case of possession by any supernatural being. What will he do? He says, "Please pardon me. You better call the physician." The Prime Minister goes back. The Queen herself comes, weeps before him. "Why are you so unkind to the king? Please come and cure him of his ailment." He does not know what to do. "Give me 1 day's time," he says. All right. Next day night, somebody comes to him with a mask. Not the spirit. And he removes the mask. He is the crown prince, the king's own son. He says, "What are you going to do? Are you going to cure my father?" "Don't. I want him to die. How long should I go on looking at his crown and never wear it? He has reigned for many years. Now let me ascend the throne, let him ascend to heaven. So don't cure him. If you do, then you will see." He goes away. He does not know what to do. And after a day passes, the king's commander-in-chief comes with a handcuff. "Unless you cure the king, you are thrown into the prison room without food, without drink. Be there." He is there. At night, the crown prince's shout is heard. "You must cure my father." Comes nearer and he says, "Don't cure him. If you don't cure him, rather do anything possible to kill him soon, so that I will give you 1,000,000 gold mohurs." Ananda is going mad. And at night, he dreams a terrible dream. Very interesting dream, not terrible exactly to begin with. He is being taken in a procession. On a decorated elephant he is seated. From both the sides people are throwing flowers on him. And the elephant in a procession is taking him. Suddenly he sees everything has disappeared. And what he thought to be an elephant is a terrible skeleton of a ghostly telephone. And in front of him there is a well, dark well, which he understands is the hell, and he is about to be thrown into the hell. At that moment he cries out, "Oh my Lord, please protect me, save me." Next moment he sees he has woken up. In waking state he sees he is at Rajagriha and in front of Gautama Buddha, and Buddha says, "Ananda, my disobedient brother and disciple," of course with a great affection he says, "I had to perform a miracle for your sake. I had to bring you physically from the prison house to safety. You should not have done that. You should not have fallen a prey to the temptation for miracles." Buddha disappeared. So, Buddha and Christ, they are liberated souls, they are avatars, they can perform miracles, but none else, even however great spiritual person he may think himself to be or herself to be, should perform miracles. They don't help the cause of spirituality. Mother says, explaining these aphorisms, Sri Aurobindo, how many miracles he performed, but invisible, at the plane of the human mind, not physical, particle miracles. Performing a miracle, creating something out of nothing, is an insult to God, because He has created everything. You can't create anything beyond Him. It is a caricature of the divine that you are creating something, you are boasting, you are almost like divine, when He has created the whole universe. So that kind of miracle is nothing. Real miracle is the expansion of our consciousness, the growth of our consciousness, and a consciousness within which begins to see the touch of the supreme miracle in everything. You are listening to me, it is a miracle. I am speaking, it is a miracle. There are letters we can read, it is a miracle. The breeze is a miracle. Our environment is a miracle. Nothing can be logically explained. These are all miracles. And that way we can help our consciousness to grow. Thank you. Tomorrow will be the last talk in this series, Thoughts and Aphorisms.